Thank you. All right, Professor Naomi Damba, yes, 50 years of Biafra. I grew up hearing about a Biafra estate here in the country. Now people can relate to Biafra estate, I think, in Islands, right?
You were not born then yet.
I was not born then.
Okay. I think that Nigeria as a nation have substantive and significant progress from Biafra to where we are. There is a fairly good understanding that Nigerian will not elect an Igbo for president. That has been tried through many of the polls in the past. And Igbos themselves, I think, have settled the fact. They're very good. They're very good business people.
Yes.
In fact, they're calling themselves the Jews of Africa. They're fiercely independent. They're very tribal. They're very strong ethnic group, very expressive. They're everywhere in the world. They're very adventure. Most of my friends from Nigeria and Americans are Igbos. They're very high achiever in terms of technology, medicine, education, and everything. And so the Igbos are, by themselves have a big stake in Nigeria if it fails. I think the big issue is the scale on which you divide the pie. Nigeria basically depends on oil as the major income of the country. Nigeria is the third world provider of oil to America. The question is, where does that money go? There are people who've stuck in their garage packs and packs of dollars.
Right,
I mean, they steal in a big way. And so the issue is the means on which the benefit of this oil encompass all Nigeria. Right. That's the big question.
And we've seen recently also the resurgence of the poster boy of Biafra, so to speak, Nnamdi Kanu, who is the indigenous leader of Biafra right now.
Yes.
So the Biafra state in itself, or the Biafra mentality, is still very rife with the Nigerians, especially with the Igbos. Very briefly, Professor.
That's dying. The younger Igbos are more international, they're more national Nigerian than the Biafra. I don't think that sentiment will rise to a major conflict between the state and Igbo again.
He was in detention for 2 years, especially, and of course, because of his sentiments over the radio. I think we have the Biafra radio station. How pivotal is it? Because we get incitements with some of his channels as well when it comes to security breaches as well. You can comment on it very briefly. Captain Urunga, very briefly.
Yeah, I think just to add on what Professor said, we must understand our African context. Every country has had a dominant tribe. And most of the times, they've always believed, to some extent, that they have a right to do ABCD. So in Nigeria, it was the Igbo. In Uganda, it was the Bagandas. I don't want to mention Kenya. In Zambia, we have the Shonas and the issue with the Ndembele. In South Africa, we have the Zulus. So the idea has always been, if we don't manage these very aggressive communities and countries, yes, then they get problems. But in Nigeria, the Igbos were in such a position that they thought without them Nigeria would not have moved in terms of their intellect, in terms of their being good administrators, in terms of their exposure, and the outgoing nature of the Igbo nation. And therefore, when they failed, the war took about three years or so, and actually Ojukwu was pardoned. That's how the war ended. And of course, he died. Is he alive or he died?
No, he died.
He died the other day. So and I think we must understand that this has been something that our colonial masters never took into context, and they kept us fighting amongst themselves and kept on propping tribes with a view of divide and rule. And therefore, that's how we must understand. That is how the Biafra thing came about.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.